It is our 5 way too early, 5 bold predictions for the 2024-2025 NFL season. These are bold, they are hot, they're spicy. The higher the spice level, the better. That's what we're aiming for. Is all of it going to be sound? Maybe, maybe not. You look at my list, probably not the most sound stuff. Some of it's all headcanon for me. But Drew, do you want to start off or do you want me to start off? Because I can
whatever you want to do, man.
I can triple down on the whole Texans thing we've been talking about. A team from Texas will make the Super Bowl.
I hope so. That means my team has a chance to win.
So a team from Texas will make the Super Bowl. First, I said the Texans when I first typed it out. And I was like, you know what? I'm pretty negative about my team a lot of the times. But so I'm going to go ahead and throw it a bone. And I'm gonna say a team from Texas will make the Super Bowl this year. What's your first?
Bill Belichick becomes the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Like midway through the season?
Before this season is over. Wow. And yes, that's the team that I just put number 2 in my power rankings. Their head coach is absolutely useless. He doesn't do anything. And their star quarterback doesn't get along with him because he doesn't know X's and O's. So this just came out, just so you know.
Between your first one and my first one, which one's more bold? A team from Texas make the Super Bowl, or Belichick being inserted into the Philadelphia Eagles head coaching job before the season ends?
I think the Texans one is more bold just because Sirianni almost got fired last year. And if the stories about Jalen Hurts thinking he's a moron are true, then, you know, the writing's on the wall there.
Yep.
At this point, picking anyone to make the Super Bowl over the Chiefs is just silly.
Mm-hmm.
So, just doesn't make sense.
Go ahead and kick off our number 2s. What's your second one?
I don't know why I feel like this. I just feel like we're headed towards the end of the king. And I'm not talking about King James. I'm talking about King Henry.
Okay.
Whether it's injuries or age or just not molding in a new place, I do not think Derrick Henry is going to be a top 10 running back in the NFL this season.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely, since the age thing, the mileage thing, I think is huge. The amount of carries that he gets year after year after year after year is definitely something that is going to catch up to him one way or another. Wow. Before I say my second one, I have a bold prediction from the chat. Bill and Dak to the New York Giants next season. He finished where he started. That's pretty great.
How are they going to afford Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott $60 million a year?
No, they haven't out on Daniel Jones's contract at the end of the year, to be fair. Okay, so my second one though is and you're not going to like this. The Chargers are going to finish as a bottom 10 team in the 2024 season. At the end of the 2024 season, the Chargers are going to end up a bottom 10 team. I know how you feel about Herbie and how you feel about Harbaugh, but me personally, looking at the team, looking at the lineups, I'm not seeing a correlation. Potentially, I get it. I get the coach. I get the quarterback. I don't see the team, dude. I just don't. I don't see where we're going in the direction that we're heading, at least in the first year. This is a multi-year built program in my mind. I think they're gonna finish third at the highest in their division. I think both the Chiefs and the Raiders are going to finish above them.
I think Jim Harbaugh is going to win the Coach of the Year award.
Okay.
So that's not one of my bold predictions.
But that's just what you think. Yeah.
Actually, one of my bold predictions that I took off the list was that the Texans are not going to improve on their win total from last year. And I just took that because we've already fully covered the Texans.
Yeah, go check out the other videos of Drew and I arguing if you're on this video.
I think that Puka Nacua will break Justin Jefferson's receiving yard record this year.
Okay.
1,809 yards. We wanted spicy, right?
Where does I have a question for you then. Where does Cooper Kupp fit in this offense?
He's old.
That's where I was kind of going.
Yeah, he's whip route in the end zone for touchdown.
Is he sub 1,000?
Yeah, I think they're going to rely on that running back a lot, man. That kid's electric.
Yep.
And Puka Nacua, yeah. I mean, yep. I don't think he's going to go for 600, but I think Cooper's going to do a lot of his dirty work on these, moving the chains and getting these red zone touchdowns and things like that.
I mentioned that he was in my bold predictions, and this might be the most bold potentially. Bryce Young has a bounce back season and wins the division. And yes, I'm very, very aware of the Atlanta Falcons being in the same division. Outside of that, I don't really give a fuck about the Bucs, and I don't really give a fuck about the Saints and Derek Carr and the whole rest of them. The Falcons are going to be the big wild card here. I'm making this prediction not based on a ton of success from Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, because honestly, that defense is horrid. But I think that they are going to slightly edge out the Atlanta Falcons, who I have a lot of questions about. And I still believe in Bryce Young. So that's a huge part of it. Is I'm a massive Bryce Young guy from day one, and I'm not sure if that's going to change until maybe after year 3, honestly.
How many we got left?
We got 2 more.
Can I do 3?
Yes.
I have 2 players falling off a cliff this year.
Okay.
So I'll just, those 2. I think the Baker Mayfield train is done. And I think that the Devon A-Chain hype from last year does not get replicated this year.
I agree. Now, is it lack of success, or is it injuries, or is it a mix of both? Because I see a mix of both for A-Chain.
I think it's just a lot of, you need to now develop Tua to the next level as a passing quarterback, because you've given him this money and have basically hitched your wagon to him for at least the next 2 years, although the out after 2 years is incredibly obvious.
Yeah.
But you have to try to turn him into something. So that I think there's going to be a lot of focus on that. I don't really want to call it the RPO, but just the Tua takes the snap and takes a couple steps left or right to open up the angle routes, and they're just a quick passing game that they run.
It's like what Dak was doing last year. Once he hits that, he hits his back foot, the ball should be out of his hands by the time his back foot lands. I have one with 2 players playing for the same team. Both Justin Fields and Russell Wilson will have significant amount of playing time this season. Whether that's a full 50-50 split, whether that's game to game, I think both of them, one way or another, are going to play a ton of time this year. And I think it could potentially being a lack of success from both, and Mike Tomlin trying to figure out who's going to be the best fit. The other part of the prediction could be like, what if we see Mike Tomlin employ like a full-blown 2 quarterback system in one game? Because I could see both. Because right now, you hear whispers out of both sides that Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are going to be the starting quarterback.
They keep referring to Justin Fields as an amazing weapon in camp. So I think Russell Wilson's the starter, and they're really going to gadget the piss out of Justin Fields. I don't think that doesn't, that might include throwing touchdowns on plays where he's not the primary quarterback. So,
yep.
We saw the 49ers do it with Jimmy G and Trey Lance, and bring in, Jimmy led the team down into the red zone, and then Trey Lance came onto the field and put his running prowess and scored a couple touchdowns. The problem is we realized really quick that Trey Lance just wasn't that fast, but Justin Fields is definitely fast.
Right.
I lied. I got two more.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
I'm gonna leave my spiciest for last, but I think that Christian McCaffrey is gonna finish second in total scrimmage yards this year to Bijan Robinson.
Oh shit! You know what's funny is I almost put Bijan in. I was like looking at Bijan super heavy for a bold prediction, and I just couldn't. I couldn't think of something to put it at. But that's good. I'll be a little upset because you helped me orchestrate the trade to trade away Bijan, so I'll be a little upset. But I could see it. The last one I have is that the record for kickoff return touchdowns in a single season, which is 4, will be broken with the new rules this season.
Does the NFL changing their kickoff rule like win the award for most wildly celebrated like rule change the NFL's ever done? Because when they went back to letting the players celebrate the touchdowns and everything, there was still a lot of bitterness about the fact that they stopped it in the first place. But
yeah,
it's only been a couple of preseason games, and I don't think everybody's showing their hand on it yet. But like, it's a running play now.
Yep.
And for my team, like I got the best fullback in the league. I got the best pass blocker in the league back there in Kyle Juszczyk. And then if it gets blocked up and that ball is in Debo's hands,
yep.
Like, I do feel a little bad for Devin Hester. I wish he was still around, but my last bold prediction is tying in with the Anthony Richardson thing.
Okay.
I'm not going to say this dude's going to throw for 40 touchdowns or anything like that, but I think entertainment factor in terms of putting the fucking TV on and watching the man sling the pill around, I think Will Levis this year is going to be super fun to watch.
He was another one I thought about. Absolutely.
That team sucks and they're not going to do shit. So that motherfucker might as well just go out and put balls to the wall and just sling that shit all over. Like, I think that he could have like a 7 touchdown or 6 touchdown, just something stupid, or like a 500 passing yard. Like, I don't know what his stats will look like at the end of the year. Obviously the Titans aren't going to be that good, but I mean, if you're the Titans and you're going to suck, at least you get to watch Will Levis. Like, think about if you're a New Orleans Saints fan right now. It's like Derek Carr is still in the league. We gave him a 4-year, $150 million contract. What the hell is wrong with us? And our coach sucks.
Yeah, just to throw the ball 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage every play.
Yeah.
If you have nothing else to add, that is our 5 bold predictions. And not only that is the end of the show. Drew, I think this is one of the first times that we've actually had a real hardcore back and forth. And honestly, it was entertaining as hell. And I feel like as soon as we got done, we were like, oh my God, that was draining. This is why we never fucking argue. But it was exciting nonetheless. And especially since we agree on so much, it's interesting to see how much we disagreed on rolling into the start of this year. Next week, we are going to have the start of our record predictions. Next week, we can start with the AFC. And then the week after that, we could do the NFC. Unless, Drew, you want to flip-flop it around?
No. Let's do it that way first, because hope to God Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams are in camp. That way I can accurately predict the 49ers schedule this year.
Absolutely.
But I will give you a spoiler alert. They slapping that ass on Sunday, October 5th, when the Dallas Cow bitches come to town. They are sending them home sad again. Thank you very much.
So that's what we have going on for the next 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, we are going to be right there about to start the football season. And that's what we're going to be on schedule for every single week until next February. So if you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We are approaching that 100 subscriber count.
Hook it up.
Keep pumping up those numbers. We do appreciate it. Besides that, Drew, any last words for the people?
Yeah, shout out to the USA winning over Serbia this year. Today, they came back from 20 down, and they're trying to go for that gold medal. That way we can cement my guy, Easy Money Sniper, as a better player than Kawhi Leonard. So keep it going.
Yeah, just remember for the rest of the world, what the fuck is a kilometer? And besides that, we use freedom measurements. Peace out to the people. We will see you next week.